All right, so what do I do? Christopher,
Would you multiply by the denominator by put the sign?
right. What do we call that? Everybody remember?
Conjugate?
Right, complex conjugate. It's plus 5 plus 2i. Same two terms, but change the sign between them, like Chris said. Okay, and again, the reason we're doing that, we talked about this yesterday. I is equal to the square root of -1. So this I is like a radical down there, right? We're not supposed to have radicals in the denominator. So that's why we're doing it. Remember that I squared equals -1. Okay, so anyway, we're going to FOIL the top, the numerator, and the bottom denominator. And the top is -4 times 5, -20. And -4 times 2i is -8i for the outside. Right, first, outside. Inside is negative, what is that? 195? Is that what that is? I think. And then last, -39 times the +2 is a -78 I squared. Just like x times x is x squared, same thing with the i's. And then the shortcut for the conjugates is just squaring the first term. It's just going to be 5 squared plus 2 squared is what it ends up being, 25 plus 4. But I'll show you why. But if you remember the shortcut, you can just do that if you want for the bottom. Okay, so you just take these two terms, square them, and add them. That'll give you the bottom. If I FOIL it, I go 5 times 5. There's my 25. 5 times 2i, that's a 10i, positive. -2i times 5 is -10i. And those are canceled. Right? So those are gone. And then -2i times a +2i is a -4. -4. Try one more time. -4i squared. Okay, so remember the I squared equals -1, so this is like -78 times -1. So that makes it +78. And -4 times -1 makes it +4. So that's why that's always positive. There's your 25 plus 4 for your 29 in the denominator. Wow, this thing's really messing up. Giving me two different colors now. And then add the combine the like terms. -20 plus 78 is +58. And -8i minus 195i is a -203i. Now, at this point, we're supposed to make sure we can't simplify. Can we simplify? Is there a number, a common factor with 29, 58, and 203? Carter, 29, right? Yeah, 29 goes into all three. So 29 goes into 58 twice. And 29 goes into -203 7 times. And then 29 and 29 is 1. You can put the 1, you don't have to. You can just leave it like that. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? Okay, that's probably the more work or more difficult one. Type that you have to do with the division. So, answers to last night's assignment. Again, if you have a question, Speak up, we'll go over it. Make sure you understand it. Number 39 is 3 minus 6i. Number 42 is 3 minus 4i over 5. Number 45 is 15 minus 29i over 41. 48 is 1 minus 2i. 51 is negative 16 minus 30i. 54 is 2 minus 11i. Let's stop right there. Any questions on any of them from 39 to 54? Okay. The last two, let's just do those two real quick, just to go over how to do those. So 57 was negative I to the 40th power. Okay, so what we talked about yesterday, we had a little table we did, and we said that I to the 0 was equal to 1, and I to the first was equal to I, and I squared we know is negative 1, and then I cubed comes out to be negative I. Those are our 4 possible answers for these types of problems. Okay? So since there's only 4 possible answers, we divide the big exponent at 40 by 4. Again, you can do this in your calculator, but if you do long division, 4 goes into 4 once. 1 times 4 is 4. When you subtract, you get 0, so you bring down the next term, which is a 0, and 4 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract, that's our remainder. Okay? So you would just get, when you put that in your calculator, you get 10. Right? So that means this problem is the same as I to the 0, but it's negative I to the 0. That's the same problem. Okay, so what is I to the 0? 1. But since there's a negative in front, our answer is negative 1. Okay? And if you're using the calculator, that's a whole number, no remainder. Like we got on your calculator, we got 10. This would have a 0.25 in the answer, 1/4. This would have 2/4, 0.5 in the answer. This would have 3/4, or 0.75 in the answer. So for 60, I'm going to do the same thing. It's 1 over I to the 83rd power. Okay, so I'm going to take that 83 and divide by 4. Okay, and 4 goes into 8 twice, so 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract, there's nothing, so drop down to 3. 4 goes into 3 0 times. And we get a remainder of 3. So this is like 1 over I to the 3rd. What did we say I to the 3rd was? Negative I. So this is like 1, forgot my fraction bar there. This is like 1 over negative I. Am I allowed to leave my answer like that? No, that's what we were talking about yesterday, right? We can't have i's in the denominator. So then I have to do that I over I thing, multiply by. So 1 times I is I. And negative I times positive I is a negative I squared. Well, what is negative I squared? There's a negative sign, and I squared is negative 1. So what happens? Makes it a positive 1, right? So it's like I over 1, which is I. So we had to do some work after we figured out that 3 was the remainder, or in your calculator, you'll get 20.75, right? When you divide 83 by 4. Anything else on those types of problems from last night? Is it making sense to you? Okay, so we did Monday, we added and subtracted and multiplied these complex numbers. And yesterday we divided them. And then we had these i's with high exponents. Okay? So just do practice quiz the rest of the day. Hopefully you get it done and get it submitted. Then you'll be not have to worry about this class till tomorrow. We'll go over it, and then our quiz will be Friday. Okay? You guys are doing a good job. Keep up the good work.